everyone, and thanks for being here on this Thursday. Things are calming down and cooling off after last night for a lot of folks, especially in a condensed part of Magoffin County, as well as some other parts of the viewing area. When you expand that a little further, saw anything but calm conditions. A lot of flash flooding, quick to rise, quick to recede, but leaving behind some slight to moderate damage for some and causing a few problems. 1.5 inches of rain and maybe even a bit more fell in less than an hour or so in some parts of Magoffin County. I'll have a little bit of video for you, and we'll talk about the remnants thereof. And looking ahead, weather-wise, well, we've got more of the same. Cool, nice air in here for tomorrow. Friday is still a keeper and a winner weather-wise, but we'll heat back up for the weekend, only to get slammed with another shot of showers, thunderstorms, another cold front, giving us some more sub-summer temperatures and conditions that will stick around for a few days next week. Now, I'm kind of working by the seat of the pants, so to speak, for tonight's program. Just as we were preparing to start to put the show together, our breaking and top story for this evening took place, and that is an opinion, an order handed down by the Kentucky Court of Appeals in regards to the appeal filed on behalf of Dr. Charles Hardin, Magoffin County Judge Executive, as it relates to the recount and the now not ongoing, as it appears, Democratic election for Judge Executive here in Magoffin County. Some finality, it appears as though. I'll read that appeal in part to you, the order, mind you, in part to you in just a few moments, and I've managed in just a few moments to get to speak at least to one of the parties involved. I'll have that interview for you, more than likely in raw form, in just a few moments, and then I'll try to be working in some of the other headlines that we had already prepped, some of which I'll have for you on tomorrow's program. Before we get to that information, as it's literally still rendering, a few other things to discuss, and it's hopeful that I'll have maybe someday a similar report to read about Magoffin County and Johnson County too, as they are attempting to become designated as a trail town. But for now, it was another county in eastern Kentucky. First Lady Jane Beshear announced just this week that the community of Moorhead is now an official Kentucky trail town and is part of the effort to promote and develop adventure tourism opportunities across the state. She says, quote, "I'd like to thank and congratulate the community of Moorhead for their work over the last 2 years to become a trail town. It's a great opportunity for your community as well as the tourists who visit Moorhead and all it has to offer." The Kentucky Trail Town program is designed to help connect communities to trail systems and help develop them as tourist destinations. It will guide travelers to trails, food, lodging, campgrounds, museums, entertainment, and other services and venues. The designation will also help communities improve their tourism economy, add more jobs, and create more tourism opportunities, not just for their respective area, but for the entire state as well. More than 30 communities have started the application process to become a trail town, including Sagersville and Paintsville, and are working with the Office of Adventure Tourism in the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet. Moorhead joins Dawson Springs and Livingston as official Kentucky trail towns. Mrs. Beshear also noted some of the assets that Moorhead has as part of its plan in developing a trail town. They include being located at the northern tip of the Daniel Boone National Forest, the northern end of Kentucky's longest trail, the Sheltawee Trace, 260 miles, I believe. Nearby, of course, Cave Run Lake Recreation Area with more than 100 miles of trails, the Moorhead Park System, the Licking River Water Trail, Eagle Lake and Cave Run Lake, Kentucky Folk Art and Rowan County Arts Center, and excellent downtown shopping district. They've got a lot to brag about. As part of the trail town work, the path of the Sheltawee Trace, the longest trail in Kentucky, and I do believe it's close to 260 miles in length, and which is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, will be moved into Moorhead along Main Street to improve accessibility. Now, once the community receives a Trail Town certification, the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet and the Department of Travel and Tourism and Office of Adventure Tourism will work very hard to help promote and market those communities and the services that they have to offer. And they'll be highlighted on everything from maps to websites to visitors' guides and other state promotional material. It's a big deal, one we hope to see come to our part of the world sometime in the future. Our top headline coming up in just a few moments, as I expect a lot of folks anxious to hear what appears to be some finality at this time. In regards to that appeal filed on behalf of McGoffin County Judge Executive Charles Hardin, I'm gathering just a few more details. Video should be forthcoming in just a few moments. Right now, a reminder that U.S. Representative Hal Rogers has announced a first-ever SOAR Health Impact Series. It will feature a high-profile name, Dr. Thomas Frieden. He is the director for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and they're going to have this in 4 separate events across eastern Kentucky. Dr. Frieden and his team from the CDC will be on hand to discuss what we have and what the state and nation knows is for us to have extremely high rates of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity across the region. Rogers cites numbers as the following, that according to the Kentucky Department of Public Health, the prevalence of heart disease is 84% higher, diabetes 47% higher, obesity 26% higher in Kentucky's Appalachian region compared to the U.S. From 2006 through 2010, the region's lung cancer mortality rates were also the highest in the nation, 67% higher. Kentucky also has the 3rd highest drug overdose mortality rate in the United States, an issue that Rogers and Dr. Frieden have worked together to combat during Operation Unite's National Prescription Drug Abuse Summits each year. The Health Impact Series is coming to Eastern Kentucky as part of the Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR initiative, launched by Congressman Rogers and Governor Beshear. The SOAR Health Working Group is tasked with finding solutions to health problems in the region. The group's chair, Dr. Nikki Stone, who is the Mobile Dental Outreach Director for the UK Norfolk Valley Community Dental Outreach Program in Hazard, will serve as the moderator of several panels during the events with the CDC. And in regards to the continuing health crisis across Kentucky and specifically in Appalachia, Rogers says, quote, "While the diagnosis of illnesses like cancer and diabetes are heartbreaking, we know that hope is abundant. We've made great strides in awareness and prevention," but he's eager to hear Dr. Frieden's prescription for Eastern Kentucky. If you would as well, you can go and attend one or even all if you so desire. 4 of the Health Impact Series. They'll begin on Monday, August the 4th. Now, that one is in Somerset. Tuesday, there are 2 closer to home. They'll be at Hazard at the Hazard Technical and Community College beginning at 10 o'clock that morning, and then they'll be here in the viewing area that evening. On Tuesday, August the 5th, they'll be at the Ramada Inn in Paintsville in their conference center. It is a 2-hour event slated to start at 5:30 and last till 7:30. All of the events are free to the public, but registration is recommended to reserve meal service. If you want to reserve your free spot at any of the events, this is the contact information you need. Cheryl Keaton can be reached at centertech.com, and a phone number also applies, 606-657-3218. And I'll remind you about that when it gets just a bit closer. A report on the order handed down by the Kentucky Court of Appeals coming up right after these words from a few of our sponsors. Remember, let them know you're watching whenever you can. I'll be right back. Superior selection and superior service is what you'll find at Hutch, along with the best price on that new Silverado, Sierra, Tahoe, Yukon, Enclave, Terrain, Regal, Camaro, and all other new Chevys, GMCs, and Buicks. Drive your trade-in on over or check out HutchChevrolet.com. And coming soon, Hutch Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Isn't it time to buy Hutch?
Remember when they invented the peanut butter cup? Bringing peanut butter and chocolate together. Pure genius. Well, the Sonom Enduro has done the same thing for wireless. Right now at Appalachian Wireless, you'll find the tough, dependable Sonom Enduro. This flip phone is great for the job or weekend warrior, but you can also access the internet and take great pictures with a 2-megapixel camera. Get it now, the best of both worlds, just like the peanut butter cup. Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Regardless of where you want to ride, you can be riding on a brand new Kawasaki or Polaris for less at M&M Power Sports in Staffordsville. New Kawasaki's for the dirt, the street, or both, and ATVs and side-by-sides for every stage of enthusiasts to fish, hunt, haul, or play. And with rebates up to $1,300 and financing as low as 3.99%, it's never been easier to ride it, buy it, and start your next adventure at Kentucky's Power Sports Authority since 1964, M&M Power Sports. Get ready and get set to go to the 11th annual Magoffin County Community Day celebration, Saturday the 16th at the Ramey Park in Salyersville. It's the only place to be to see Larry Sparks and the Lonesome Ramblers and be among the very first to get his new CD marking 50 years in bluegrass. Plus, Blue Highway, Mountain Heart, Atkinson Loudermilk, Turning Ground, Hidden Steel, Black Powder Express, and the Dixie Bridge Band in the Bridge's final performance ever, all for only $10, plus chances to win cash, prizes, even a car, and some of the best food you could feast on. So get your tickets now at either location of the Salyersville National Bank and get your blanket or lawn chair, your friends and family to Community Day 2014.
I guess she always knew.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is when he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Hey everybody, join us at Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in wishing your family and ours a very happy birthday this month of July.
Birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Our breaking and top story this evening is a first report with more to come tomorrow when time allows, but a report nonetheless of what I can tell you at this time about a decision, an order handed down and returned by the Kentucky Court of Appeals just a short time ago this afternoon. I have said order in front of me. I also have, within the last few moments, some video and an interview, raw footage in form that I did with one of the respective parties, and I hope to also speak with other individuals tomorrow. I placed a call to Magoffin County Judge Executive Charles Hardin, hoping to sit down with him in the morning. I was able to speak to counsel representing H.B. Arnott just a few moments ago in an interview that I'll have forthcoming in just a few moments. As far as the order in and of itself, Gordon Long, attorney representing H.B. Arnott, says that without being able to present any evidence in regards to the appeal case, he was not surprised, albeit disappointed, in the ruling which was handed down earlier today. The ruling says in part, and I'll go into it in more detail tomorrow when time allows, that given the fact that Magoffin County Court Clerk Renee Arnott Shepard testified under oath before Kim Childers here in Magoffin County Circuit Court that the ballots had been in her possession and in her office and essentially not tampered with, that the appeals court had no other avenue but to reverse the decision of Childers and order her to then declare Judge Charles Hardin the winner of the Democratic nomination. In part, the several-page-long order that I have in front of me reads, beginning that it is stating this is an appeal and a cross-appeal from a final judgment of the Magoffin Circuit Court. You'll recall me covering that in great lengths and detail about the election night coverage, the recanvass coverage, and, of course, the coverage and report pertaining to the official recount as was conducted in the chambers of Honorable Kim Childers, Magoffin County Circuit Court Judge. It was then, of course, that, and I don't think I need to remind anyone in the viewing area, that the paper absentee ballots in question were what swung the tides or changed the tides, so to speak, resulting in a change of total votes for the two candidates, with Dr. Charles Hardin, Magoffin County Judge Executive, picking up 5 votes, H.B. Arnott, the challenger, former Magoffin County Clerk, losing 1 vote, and then there was the indiscrepancies of the no votes, 9 no votes or ballots that were not filled out for the Magoffin County Judge Executive's race that were counted as such during election night, and then that number, of course, changed to only 4 no votes that were determined to be present when the box was reopened after being locked in the custody of local Magoffin County Clerk Renee Shepard. Some of the language that the appeals court uses is that they find the statutory language to be clear in requiring the circuit court to enter the results of the recount and then to direct the Board of Elections to issue a certificate to the party entitled thereto as shown by the recount, referring to Dr. Hardin. It says specifically in a couple of lines before you, the circuit court need not determine why there was a discrepancy between the results announced election night and the day of the recount, because the statute plainly dictates that the result of the recount is determinative of the outcome. The circuit court fully complied, it says, with the statute up to the point that it determined it could not reach a conclusion as to which party was entitled to the certificate of nomination. And it says further, this conclusion is clearly at odds with the mandatory nature of Kentucky law, which requires that the results of the recount dictate the candidate entitled to be certified. Thus, we are persuaded, referring to the appeals court, that the circuit court erred as a matter of law in refusing to direct the Board of Elections to issue a certificate of nomination to Charles Hardin. And the bottom line perhaps comes in the last line, saying, accordingly, the judgment of the Magoffin Circuit Court is reversed, and the case is remanded for entry of a judgment directing the local Board of Elections here in Magoffin County, essentially, to issue a certificate in accordance with the results of the recount proceeding.
What was the gist of it?
Well, they basically ruled that the judge had to make a decision. It was a recount, and because the recount came out in Hardin's favor, that she had to certify him as a winner. I'm disappointed in that decision. I firmly believe that the election process in our county is corrupted. We had to file suit just to get challengers. We won the popular vote, the machine vote by over 220 votes. We lost, or we initially won the absentee ballots, but the margin went down to 3. And we all know historically that the most corruption has always occurred, or the most vote buying in absentee ballots. And I have every reason to believe that occurred in this election, as it has done in many elections, and it's just time it stopped. And it has to be stopped, or we will never have good progressive government that's government for the people. It will always be government for the elected officials that bought their way into office, and that's just wrong.
So is this the end of the appeals process?
Yes.
Is Childers now, this is not a decision that she has to make. The decision essentially has been made for her, correct?
The decision has been made for her. It was remanded back to circuit court to enter a decision in Dr. Hardin's favor. And so she has no leeway, no discretion. That's what it is.
And on your client's behalf and on yours as his representation, is there any other avenues?
No, I don't know that we're going to pursue any other. I haven't talked to Mr. Arnett about that. I would say I'm proud to have represented him. I think he did what was right in challenging the whole process here. And we had to start from just getting challengers. We had to file suit to get that. So we fought a good fight. We fought a hard fight. You don't always get justice when you go to court. And unfortunately, I don't think we got it, but that's how it happens, and there always will be another battle. As long as there's corruption in our election process, people have to stand up and fight it, or we'll never progress as a community.
And once again, I hope to have some remarks on behalf of your now Democratic judge nominee, Charles Hardin, on tomorrow's program. We'll have more in that respect, as well as some more about the order in and of itself when time allows me to go over it in a little more thorough manner this evening. I have that report for you, and of course others tomorrow. For now, a few more words from a few of our sponsors and more headlines to follow.
Get ready, baby, or get baby ready with a simply adorable selection at the seasonal shop with bibs and blankets and bags, onesies and jammies, the cutest of outfits and matching accessories for Thing 1, Thing 2, or Thing 3. Hooded bath towels by Zucchini, bubble bath paints, blocks, bears, puzzles, picture frames, and shelves and shelves and shelves more. Find an absolutely perfect gift for the most precious of gifts at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. Wheel alignments, oil changes, brakes, suspension work, and tires. Thousands of tires by all the major manufacturers, all in stock and at incomparable prices. All backed with 33 years of service and experience, the area's largest tire selection, and 6 months no interest at Conley's in Paintsville. Frito Rocks is more than just gravel. They've got mulch in red, brown, and black, river rock in 4 different sizes, new rainbow rock for an entirely new landscape feature, metal and double wall plastic pipe, masonry sand, and rock, every size from DGA to 57s to class 2 and 3. And they have delivery and excavation and dozer services. And special hours Monday through Friday, 4:30 till 9 p.m. and Saturdays 9 till 4. For orders, call Frito Rocks on Route 7 at 496-7776. You can be playing, relaxing, and enjoying your brand new lifestyle in just days with one call to Baker's Pool Supply. Over 38 years of professional installation at affordable prices on above-ground and in-ground swimming pools. Or if you're ready to open your pool for the season, you need a new liner, a solar cover, some parts, or the best in BioGuard chemicals or salts, Baker's is your full-service answer, serving all of Kentucky and surrounding states with complete satisfaction. And they offer financing. 800-633-7102 or bakerspoolsupply.com. Save big at Premier Auto, an 02 Hyundai Sonata, only $37.50. An 07 Pontiac G5, only $39.50. And an 09 Buick LaCrosse, just $99.50. An 06 Rhino, only 1,200 miles, just $69.50. And 100 miles per gallon, no driver's license, and no insurance needed. New scooters cut $500 to just $995 at Premier Auto in Paintsville. Livers or gizzards? Gizzards or livers? Or you can have both, and you can have them any day of the week, or you can have them for under $5 when they're Friday special at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. On Fridays, get a liver or gizzard or liver and gizzard dinner for only $4.59, $3.99 after 4 o'clock. Only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. It's back, and it's the only place in Sagersville you're going to get the real flavor of 100% beef seared into every char-broiled bite, a taste that you can only get from a flame. Char-broiled burgers are back, and you can get them open till close every day at your Sagersville DQ, where breakfast is served hot Monday through Thursday till 11 and till noon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you know what else is back? The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Pie Blizzard of the Month. Get them while they're hot and cold at your Sagersville DQ.
Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. A few reports that I've had to put on hold, on the back burner, so to speak, in lieu of that breaking report that I just aired will be on tomorrow's program. Also follow up on that report and some other news and information which I'll be going out on before I leave you for the weekend. Can you believe it's already here? I think some folks were having a hard time believing how much rain they saw in such a short window last night, specifically some folks technically in only a few square mile area as far as the watershed is concerned, including those in the head of the Mine Fork area, which saw this flash flooding as a result of just about 1.5 inches of rain in only a few minutes.
And this is what some of that aftermath looks like. This is actually over on 1081 near the Literal Fork Church there. Mine Fork headwater had come down through here and had actually already crested and started to recede. So we're not seeing it at its highest point. But what we are seeing is a direct result of about 1.5 inches of rain in less than an hour's time. Torrential downpours that was, in this particular instance, isolated to this portion of McGoffin County, relatively a very few square miles, that greatly impacted very quickly the head of Coon Creek, Mine Fork, Buffalo, and some neighbors in just a few miles from there really didn't see any flash flooding activity. But as you can see, some did. I know Buffalo was really hard hit last evening. A lot of folks there saw some very high waters, and we saw some damage as well as a result to roads and some bridges, I think. In this particular area here, just below the church, the flow was so great going into that curve and that bend that it started to erode the roadway and underneath it just a bit in the curve. I think they were having to make some repairs and cordon that off last night and last evening for just a bit. Over at the North McGoffin Volunteer Fire Department, that's not a fresh coat of shiny paint in the floor. That's water after it had gone down considerably. They had 3 to 4 inches of flash flood water that came into the fire department that they had to spend some time last night cleaning up. It, too, was a site that saw just a lot of runoff in a very short period of time. So much, in fact, that when you went outside, you couldn't see it on the video as the water had already receded, but it receded. But there was some water up on a trailer that had been marked to show just how quickly it rose and how high it got.
All the gravel did. You can see how deep it washed it.
Okay. Let me get a hold right there.
Hard to tell in the grainy footage as darkness had fallen, obviously, but this trailer, one of the familiar recycling bins that are placed in specific areas throughout the county, well up to, as one of our fellow firemen in the county shows us, well up onto the unit, more than halfway up and nearly being pushed by floodwaters as they were raging in that area. That's how high it was. It had gone down just about as quickly as it came. As far as your forecast is concerned, we've got some more rainfall in the forecast as a result of the same pattern that we've been stuck in, which makes it feel just a bit fallish with temperatures that are coming in behind these fronts. Who am I kidding? That was certainly an understatement. More than just a little fallish, just downright like fall. In fact, next week, another shot of maybe breaking some record lows. This cool air just shows no sign of letting up, but we're going to warm up, of course, first. We'll get there in a second. A low of 57 tonight. Showers are ending. It's going to be a nice evening out, and it's going to be ultimately, like I said, a low of right around 57 degrees. The isolated showers are pretty much out of here by airtime if you're catching the early show, certainly the late show. But look for a little bit of fog later on. Areas of dense fog in the morning are possible. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and your Friday is still picture perfect. This part of the forecast is held true all week long, that Friday is a keeper. Mostly sunny, clear, calm, only a few clouds late, 81 for your high, 60 for your low. Just a gorgeous way to end the work week. And Saturday's not going to be that bad. Warmer, more indicative of, close to the 1st of August. Mostly sunny, a high of 89 degrees, a significant jump there per the last calculations. A low of 68. We do have a 40% threat of some showers and thunderstorms. Right now, that window looks to be midnight or after Saturday night into your Sunday. So Saturday, you're all clear and certainly hot. The heat hangs around for Sunday, 86 for your high, 65 for your low. Still some sunshine hanging around too, partly sunny skies. And then that's when things are going to start to change. We'll have a 50% threat of some showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, say after 2 o'clock Sunday. That threat increases into Sunday night as the next cold front comes through, and look what it does. Possibly some record-setting temperatures again next week. Right now, these estimates are 77 for your high on Monday, and then 74 on Tuesday, and that nighttime low of 52 on Tuesday night. Well, that's the one we're going to watch, as well as the one into your Wednesday. Right now, I've got Wednesday warming up to around 79 degrees, but the nighttime low calling for 50 even degrees. And that if that falls into the 40s, well, we might see a record or two fall. And fall, pardon the pun. It's just fall-like weather. It's been a pattern that we've seen. We're going to continue to see it, and it's just indicative of the weather that we have been going through in Kentucky, going back through last winter and last fall, for that matter. And it shows no sign of receding as of right now, like the flash flood waters did last evening. That's my time. I'm done making cheap shots and puns with the weather forecast. I have got a great deal of news stacking up for tomorrow, in addition to following up on the appeal ruling handed down by the Court of Appeals as we reported on just a few moments ago. So join us then. We'll wrap up this week as we bear down on July and head into August and look forward to some more beautiful weather one way or the other. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.